Namaskar. People often ask when one should not go for agile. And I think that's a very good question. There is no fun, no benefit if context is not right. And it's always smart to start with determining your context and then choose right way of doing it. I'm going to talk about two things. First, how to determine what is your context. And second, which context work for agile and which does not. So let's start with first part, and for that I will start with a very simple quiz. In the screen you can see there are 5 different images of different type of activities. Looking at those images, you need to define whether those are simple, complicated, complex or chaotic. Let us start with first one, making an instant noodle. That's easy, that's simple one. Now move to the next one, fixing a car. Is it complex or is it complicated? Let's first look at the definition, how to know if something is simple, complex, complicated or chaotic. For this, look at a 2 by 2 matrix. On one hand, we have for anything, all these 5 activities or even any other activities. On one hand, we have ability to plan. For how detailed we can plan activities, or can we only have very high level of planning. And the second aspect is unknown and deviations. When you are actually progressing, what are chances of deviation? If chances of deviation is very high, then we are somewhere here. In case of very less deviation, we are somewhere here. Now, in this 2 by 2 matrix, any context where there is very detailed level of planning possible and chances of deviation is very less, then such thing you can say my context is really simple. I am working in a simple process, simple environment. Something like instant noodle in our example. There's very less chance of deviation and you can have very detailed level of planning, put water, mix the herbs and then put the instant noodle. Now look at the other aspect. In case of one element, either deviation or ability to plan is going to change. Like you can really have very detailed level of planning, but there is good chances of deviations. Like fixing your car, you have very well defined SOPs, so you know what you are going to do, but there is good chances when you open something, then the result is something else, and then you follow the next procedure. In some cases, there is less deviation, but you cannot plan to detail level. So you have contingency plan and other thing. Because of course you know my plan may not work. So you have something like this. Such context, we can safely say these are like complicated. Now in third scenario, when your chances of deviation is very high and your ability to plan is also very high level. You cannot plan in detail. So such things is again like somewhere here, and then you can say that we are in complex. A good example here is like going from car from one place to another place. Now it sounds very simple because you are doing it day in, day out. For many years you may be driving and to you it seems very simple just to start from one place to another place. But if you try to look at from this 2 by 2 matrix standpoint, then actually it falls at complex level. Can you plan to very detailed level? That for the first 100 meter I will be driving at 40 km per hour and then 60 km, then I will apply brake, I will change gear. No. You cannot plan. Your plan may be very high level, like this route I will take, and in case of traffic or something, I may change a different route. So you may have some high level planning. but you cannot plan detail level, and chances of deviation is very high. Same like playing football. It sounds like simple activity, but can you plan your whole 90 minutes of the match? Not possible. Even in case of contingency plan, not possible. You have some high level plans, some strategies, but there are very high deviation, and planning is very high level, so it's complex. And if both are extreme high, very high deviations, very high level of planning, then it's something chaotic. In our example, firefighting, simple one to choose. Does it mean in chaotic we don't have any plan? No, we do have plan, but plan maybe very very high level. Go and save people, or maybe we go from this route or that route. Chances of deviation, of course, very high. Now, using this 2x2 matrix, you can determine what is your context. Is simple, complicated, complex, or chaotic? It's very important to don't go just by your gut feel. Like, don't decide based on your gut whether it's complicated or complex, or it's simple, like driving, going from one place to another place. Sounds simple, but in reality it's complex. So don't go by gut, but rather take very informed decision. In this matrix, if I put a line here, then everything which falls this side, this scenario is where the command and control style work very well. It's basically plan-based activities. You have plan, you have contingency plan, you have SOPs, etc. So a good methodology is very detailed, procedures, etc. works very well in case of simple and complicated. But if you are working if your context is more complex, then empirical process works very well. And here, in this case, in this place is where agile makes much more sense. So first determine your context, and if you think that you are here, and again don't go by your gut, but take some informed decision. If you think that your context is more here, it makes much more sense to go for agile. If your context is more here, don't do agile or don't go for agile just for beauty of agile. I hope you like this video and it is useful for you. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, like this video, and share your feedback in comment. This is Vivek Sinha. Thanks a lot.